Jeudi à nous dans Pembroke, Paris. Nous allons faire une interview avec le meilleur city Pembroke, Paris. Fini avec. It's very quiet, so.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Come in. Please have a seat.
Thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
Very, very well.
I'm happy to be here today with you, and we're going to talk about you and the city.
Okay.
It's okay? Can you please talk about yourself?
Well, I was born in Havana, Cuba, and my parents came to the United States when I was 3 years old, and we settled in New York City, where I grew up, and learning to speak English was my first big challenge, but we got past that, and I went to high school and I went to college there. I went to graduate school there and law school, and I got involved in government there, and I worked for 3 New York City mayors, and always as an executive in their administrations. And then I moved to Florida in 1996, and my wife and I love it here. And we have 2 beautiful daughters. They're grown now. One is married, and the other one is in the my older daughter, who's married, is a nurse practitioner, and my younger one is in public relations. She's a public relations executive. We love Pembroke Pines. I've been an elected official in my home city for 20 years, and this past as a city commissioner, and this past April, I was sworn in as the mayor of Pembroke Pines, and I just love it here.
You are the 12th mayor of Pembroke Pines and the first of Hispanic American origin. As a Cuban American, what are your thoughts about the significance of this accomplishment?
Well, the city of Pembroke Pines is a very diverse city. We have people living here from all different parts of the world that have all different faiths, all different accents, all different colors, all different religions. And I think it's natural that we, in a city where about half of the population is of Hispanic origin, that sooner or later we were going to have a Hispanic elected mayor. And I'm very honored that that choice fell to me. It would make my mother and father very, very proud to know that after all of their sacrifices coming to a new country, dealing with everything that that they had to deal with in their early 40s, I should tell you, without being able to speak English, learning it a little bit as they went along, working as hard as they did, sacrificing as much as they have, that one of their children could reach the possibility of being mayor of any city. But I think they'd be proudest still to know that I have pledged to be a mayor for all of the people of the city, and on equal terms. And that even if they didn't vote for me, they will always have my vote, and they will always have my support. And I will work very, very hard to make sure that this city hall is reflective of everyone's need for representation. Now, we might not always agree. There might be days when you see something coming out of City Hall and say, you know, I wish it was this way, or I wish it was that way. But when people, if the government truly represents the people in most respects, they will see a work product coming out of this building and from the staff that is so very talented and devoted that work here, that they can say, I'm satisfied that this is a great place to live. And you know, when I go around the city of Pembroke Pines, all people tell me is how proud they are of Pembroke Pines and how they love living in the city. They're very protective of it. They are very proud that life has brought them here to live and to work and to recreate and to raise their families, and they just very protective and the notion of I love Pembroke Pines is a very strong sort of thing that you hear just about from everybody that lives in our community. So we have to build on that. And building on that means that you use that caring and you create a city that that cares, that can, and that does, so that when we confront a problem, we confront it from the perspective of we care about it, we can fix it, and we will try to make a difference. And I don't know that there's any better way to reflect loving a city, loving where you're from, being protective and proud of the place that you call home, than by confronting the problems that our people have. So, for me, it's that transcends any ethnicity or characteristic of birth or chance. That's just doing business in a way that everybody can respect. So I think that that's what would please my parents most, is that I'm pledged to be a mayor for all of the city.
What advice do you have for other Hispanic American or immigrant aspiring to leadership roles in Pembroke Pines?
Well, I mean, I would tell you that you can never give up. It's very, very difficult. The immigrant experience that I had in the late '60s, growing up in New York, this was before English as a second language was taught in schools. You had to pick it up as you went along, and many people were able to make the transition, and some weren't. And it's sad because today we're much better organized to make sure that at least when it comes to language, that in the schools that people who have a native language other than English can learn English pretty quickly and pretty efficiently, especially as young people. So I would say never give up. Learn to speak the language, learn to write the language, and let that fire in you propel you forward in whatever you do, whether it's your studies or whether it's your outdoor activities or whether it's your work. Find that thing that you like to do, that calls to you, and devote yourself to it. And if you do that, you'll make a good living. It doesn't matter what branch of it doesn't matter whether you like science or math, or whether you prefer language or teaching or health professions. Find that thing that calls to you and devote yourself to it. And this is still a land of great opportunity where people who work very hard will get ahead. And so I say, don't have any fear. That's a path that if I can become mayor of Pembroke Pines, if I can go to law school, if I can go to college, anybody can do it. All you have to do is have that will and the relentlessness to pursue your dream. And if you do that, you'll succeed.
The last question is, as America approaches its 250th anniversary, what new challenges do you see in our future as a nation, and how do we best organize now to confront them?
Well, it's true. In just a couple of years, we're going to be 250 years old since the Declaration of Independence. And if you look back on that period of time, you realize that America has always been evolving. What's interesting is that in every year that we've been there have been people saying, "How come things can't be the way they were? How come things can't stay the same the way they used to be?" and that kind of thing. The truth of the matter is, things have never been that way. We've always been evolving. America, the face of America, the people who live here aren't just from here; they come here, and it's an amazing experience. I remember President Reagan many years ago used to say, "You can go to France, but you can't be a Frenchman. You can go to Japan or Turkey, but you can't be a Japanese or a Turk. But anyone can come to the America and be an American."
Yeah.
And that is a truth. We are a nation where people come here with their dreams and they help build the nation into what it can be into the future. And so I think that even though there's a tendency sometimes to feel, things aren't the way they should be, I look at it differently. I look at it with a great deal of optimism, and I believe that the way to keep America great is to continue being great Americans. It all depends on us, on our ability to be kind to one another, to be compassionate to one another, to manage our money well, to stay clean of body, spirit, and soul, to be free of criminality, to live a clean and hardworking life. And if we all did that with respect for one another and regard for one another, I think we'd be exactly the way we need to go. And so I'm actually optimistic, even though we live in some turbulent times. I am actually optimistic about the future of this country. I think that the experiment of democracy is one where there are ups and there are downs, and it's difficult. We have never really lived up to the American standard of our Constitution, but we try, and we continue to try to form that more perfect union, as the Constitution says. So I'm optimistic about the future of America, and I think it's going to be a great time. I think young people today should take a great interest in government, because they're the ones who, more than anyone else, is going to benefit or suffer from the impacts of it. So I don't have this pessimism that people have. No, even though we have many problems that we're confronting, I think the outlook for our nation is bright. And as we get closer to the 250th anniversary of the United States, I just think that what a marvelous place, and how very lucky I feel that that America opened its doors for me. And so I think the future is bright.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was all for today. I was happy to be with you, and I think they're gonna know a lot about you with my videos. And see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.